Gurus, media, social media, authors, even financial advisors told you to look poor to get rich. If you have high income or rich or wealthy, you don't have to look poor. You don't have to underlive, underspend because of some overused line. You have to spend and look like yourself. The looking poor trope is overdone and it's overstated. Quiet wealth, stealth wealth. People with money have always moved this way. It's not a trend. If you know, you know. If your money aligns with the values that you have or the preferences that you have, then it's not a wealth contradiction. If your plan supports it, then guilt has no place in the room. Hi, I'm Dr. Preston Cherry, fiduciary, flat fee financial advisor, and founder of Concurrent Wealth Management. I help high earning Gen X professionals align your wealth and well being so your money has a fulfilling purpose and a financial plan. All right, let's chop. Where does this looking poor a trope come from? You want to be rich, you have to look poor. Why do you have to look poor? That really dismisses the people that are actually income challenged, the money challenged. They have to do what their money wants to do. But if you have money, you have choices, you have options, you can buy into your preferences. So looking poor is not only dismissive of them, it discounts how you want to live. This is ridiculous. Where did it come from? Well, in modern social media or books or information, really started seeing this around the millionaire next door. And everybody wears the millionaire next door book, as a, piece and chain, got it around their neck and say, I'm frugal. I live below my means. I value not being flashy and all this. If you embrace frugality because it's a value that you have, then that's great. However, that's not the only path to money and being successful. And this is really more about when you have money in your pocket, you don't have to look a certain way. Be who you are. You have to look poor. You can look you and not have any guilt or explanation about it. The millionaire next door became a badge of honor and then constantly repeated in media and social media that you have to look a certain way in order to embrace making money or even enjoying the experiences of your money. Also start seeing this with, rich dad, poor dad. I saw Dave Ramsey has been talking about this a lot with his baby steps. And it's almost, well, no, it's not even almost, it is shame spending on folks. It's as you don't know about living well because you're trying to impress others or you are living flashy or beyond your means, which is an assumption. Now, when you have money and you know that this is not a trend, everyone has always practiced this stealth, wealth, quiet, luxury. I don't even know why you have to be quiet about it. Why can't you just live the way you want to live without having explanation or being guilty either internally or externally about how you are allocating your money to your well-being areas? And that could be material goods. You don't have to have an explanation for this, but in social media, print media, even financial advisors, because it feels good saying over and over again, if you want to be rich, you have to look poor, as though you're embracing some sort of moral code or, money intelligence, which it's a foolhardy thought and it leads to underspending. It also assumes that in order to be a millionaire, then you have to embrace some sort of classiness of the way you dress, the way what you buy at stores, or it's a status symbol to say, "Oh, I'm not trying to impress people." What about impressing yourself and looking in the mirror and just waking up every day and saying, "This is how I want to appear. This is how I want to engage in my day." When I'm recording this podcast, when I get prepared, I'm brushing my beard. I've sprayed some cologne on myself. You don't smell that. I'm smelling that because I want to feel good about myself. If I have a Mount Blanc pen, do I walk in the room and say, "Oh, I have a Mount Blanc pen," and before I sign my signature to something to let you know that I have a Mount Blanc pen? No, I have money in my pocket. My plan is good. I like a nice pen. It's as simple as that. There was a cultural shift in the way people are spending their money and going into quiet luxury and stealth wealth, all these labels about just simply living your money. I remember watching episodes of where are you Suits fans at? Succession, Idris Elba, Angela Bassett, Charlize Theron, who kicked off some quiet luxury stuff over some of like a commercial or a post she had a while back, and then it turned into a statement. But these folks, when you see them on TV, they embody just a well-lived life. You don't even have to go on TV to see this or episodes. We'll watch Harvey wearing suits and all that type of stuff. You don't even have to. You see that where you are in your social circle, in your home. You don't even have to compare yourself to others. In your home, the way you want to live. If you're frugal, great. But I like a custom shirt. I'm not going to announce to you that, hey, my shirt is custom, but I know the difference between a shirt that doesn't fit me well and one that does. And when folks live well and have a good surrounding about themselves, they get to buy into well-being along with experiences and the like. Just because it's a material item or you like a quality item, even a luxury item, that doesn't make you a bad person or your money is out of whack some sort of way. There's a stat that I've found as the global luxury consumer base shrank by 50 million people between 2022 and 2024. Just over 2% of the total consumer base now accounts for 45% of worldwide purchases. So 2% roughly support about half of the luxury spending market. This equates with how the K-shaped economy has been going for a while. You know, you have and the have-nots. You have 10%, 10 or 15% of the consumers supporting the consumer spending in the country. And when we're talking about the U.S., the haves are supporting massively the GDP and the consumer spending of the country. And it's the same thing with quality goods. Sure, I mean, you don't need a stat to prove that if you have money in your pocket, that you want to live a quality life about yourself. When I'm looking at Idris Elba, right, and he has the nice little tailored slacks on his like nice little boxer body, right, and he has a t-shirt. What do you think those slacks cost? What do you think that t-shirt costs? He didn't get that from Walmart, right? When you have Jimmy Johnson, the coach of Dallas Cowboys back in the day, he always wore a Rolex, still does. So be it. But what about these, quiet brands that don't have labels like Brunello or Zanga? And I think that folks are expressing more so as like, oh, I don't have flash or I'm not buying labels all over, which they do anyway. I saw a financial advisor who talks a lot of shit on the social media and that, oh, he had a whole episode about this very topic and then also wore a Gucci shirt. And when you hear financial advisors talk about not being flash or not spending beyond your means or pressing folks, go to the house, see what they're wearing, right? They're not buying cheap shit. They're not surrounding themselves by low quality goods. So why would this keep being repeated and then they do the opposite? So this is nothing new, but it also has to be embraced and empowered as far as the thought process. It's like, it's okay for you to live the way you want to live and not underlive. Don't underlive, don't underspend. Spend according to you. You don't have to look a certain way, look poor. You can just look you. Very simple, right? let's uh let's talk about frugality. I call it the false notion of frugality, the miseducation of frugality. It's as though you have to starve yourself to feed your later, which doesn't make any sense if you're not investing in your well-being now, your current self, then your future self or your commitments to your future self is not going to bode well because you're just going to feel disconnected. It leads to, as I mentioned before, wealth guilt, internal explanation, external explanation. Like you have to justify what's going on with your money, and that's just extra energy that you do not need. The trope in of itself is based in some sort of moral validity. It's like, oh, if you wear a label, then you're trying to impress others, or you're buying this expensive bag or nice suit or whatever your choice of good is, then it's some sort of assumption that I'm buying it to impress others. No, no, no. If you know what brings you happiness and joy, not just experiences. Everybody wants to concentrate on experiences. I'm talking about things, that you wear and all this, right? Because this is what it's talking. Looking poor. You don't have to do this. Then if it's inside of you and you know what makes you feel good, this shirt makes me feel good while I'm talking to you all. I knew that before I purchased it. I didn't purchase it for you. I got a wallet. I'm showing you a couple of things. It's discreet. But see, that's a justification of itself that I have to justify to you while I have this wallet. No, I liked it. It's quality. I have it. I know it's going to last so long. It matches my personality. I got it just because. It has nothing to do with you. And it has money in it as well. A lot. But I didn't have to tell you that. Me and my wife's plan is okay. Just like you have income out there, you high income earners out there. If your plan is being supported, then you don't have to validate not only the strength of your plan, but you don't have to validate your spending either, or tell yourself that you're living some sort of moral code in order to, align with others. It feels good. It's like, oh, I'm underspending, or I'm living below my means. No, 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 no. It's living within your means. It's not living below your means. It's living within your means. And means different things to different people. I don't watch your pocket. Don't watch mine. Don't watch yours or justify yours to anybody else. This is what it's all about. You can retire the wealth guilt. Looking poor. If you ever have not had any money, then you know what that constraint is. Why do that to yourself? Live how you want to live. There's a couple of brands out there that are conspicuous consumption. It's like, oh, yes, if I'm wearing this, then I'm sending a signal that I'm not flashing my money, but I'm being comfortable with my money. So, with like watches, for example, like I'm wearing a watch right now. It's a name brand. Happens to be Versace. So be it. Just because it doesn't have a diamond bezel, then that makes my purchase more valid or justified. Just because it's not flash, it has a gold base and a black band, then I'm more knowledgeable about wealth spending. No, I like this because I liked it. If I wanted a diamond bezel, I would get a diamond bezel. Everybody has their Sunday go to meeting outfit in their closet, or they had their Sunday go to meeting car. Like my grandfather used to say, he's like, when you pull a car out of the garage, you're about to go to your Sunday go to meeting. That's whatever it is. Don't deprive yourself. There's a lot of stats about going into retirement where people can't turn off the saving switch or the logical switch and underspending in retirement. You learn that stuff now because you don't want to look a certain way. No. Even look into your neighborhoods. If you're in a zip code, there's some nice cars out there too. There's some nice outfits. So what? So what? I'll give you an example. New Balances right now. I used to, man, who used to rock New Balances back in the day? You could buy a pair of New Balances for about 50 bones back in the day. Just like lacrosse. You were a geek, quote unquote, a geek if you wore lacrosse. Now, the lacrosse shirts, 150, 200, 250, 300. Good polo shirts sometimes, 350, 300, right? New Balances right now on average are about $250. But hey, look, I'm about to go get some New Balances myself because they look good with some slacks and all that. Hey, 275, 300. Buy what you want if it fits into your plan. You don't have to look a certain way. So the advice to look poor is overdone, overstated. If you're spending to impress people, that's one thing, but don't watch people's pockets and don't let them watch yours. It's mainly an assumption. Spend however you want without explanation. All right, so this is a good place to pause here. Let me ask you a question. Are you confident in your finances such that you feel you have enough flexibility in order to choose what you want next in your life? Well, if you want to find that out, take the Gen X Financial Flexibility Quiz. It's in the description. It's free. Takes 2 minutes. All you got to do is take it, and you'll find out your flexibility about the choices that you want to make. All right, so let's move on. Let's close it out about the real cost of being poor or looking poor. It's really underliving. underliving your life. You don't want to continue doing this. Live how you want to live, and you're going to feel along the way if you practice false frugality and looking poor. That's a disconnect. That's the same thing as trying to impress people, actually, is because you have people in your mouth. If you buy I don't even like calling it flashy, a flashy watch or something like that, then you seem like you have to justify that to somebody. But aren't you trying to impress others by living a certain code? He's like, oh, I'm living less than what I want to. Now, if that's a choice of yours, cool. I'm not knocking that. But also, you don't have to practice that in order to fit a status. You got plenty of money in your pocket. If somebody down the street says, oh, well, I'm cool with, XYZ shirt at discount store, and you have your shirt and somebody asks you, well, why'd you buy that? Look at my shirt. Hey, man, that's you. Right. So the real cost is underliving the way you want to live in your life. You have money in your pocket. You worked hard for it. You have a plan. Remember, it's about having a fulfilling purpose and a financial plan. Give yourself permission to live the lifestyle that you want. I want you to ask yourself a couple of questions. Don't ask yourself, can I afford it if you got a pocket full of money in your bank account and your investment accounts? Can I afford this? Should I do this? I want you to ask yourself, does this support who I am? Is it a value system? If it supports who you are, cool. It's a value that you have, cool. And that's the only internal justification that you need. If it's for you, then do that. Like Nike, I know that stock is doing terrible, but just do it. Don't think about, can I afford this? Do we have a plan? Is it aligned? Is it intentional? Is it me? Is it part of my value system? Is it something I want? And sometimes it's just like, fuck it. I want to go get this thing. So be it. There really is sometimes there's no explanation. Just go get the damn thing and rock it, whatever it may be. You don't need an explanation all the time. All right. There's a study, I'll close out with this, Journal of Consumer Psychology. You can take this home with you. Spending aligned with personal values produces significantly higher life satisfaction than equivalent spending that conflicts with self-concept, regardless of the dollar amount. If you know what you want and why, then that is aligned spending, you have higher satisfaction in your life. If you do the same thing and it conflicts with yourself, meaning outwardly, then you're going to feel messed up and your money's going to feel messed up. Do you. Don't look poor. It's a knock on folks that don't have any money. And it's also a false frugality and a falsehood out here that you don't have to live by. All right. That's what I got for you today. If you are ready to take this psychology and practices and strategy into your finances, fulfilling purpose, and a financial plan, then schedule a financial consultant meeting. It's free. Use the link in the description, and we'll see you soon. That's what I got for you. We'll chat soon. Cheers.